Happy Wednesday, everybody. I just wanted to make a video tonight. Actually, I've been wanting to make this video for a little while now, but I felt like I needed to get some more experience under my belt so that I could give a true review of my experiences with buying things from auctions, both locally and online. I initially was purchasing strictly at local coin shops. Had bad experiences and good experiences. Honestly, probably more bad than good. I did find one very cool local coin shop here. Unfortunately, he closed down about a month after I started collecting and purchasing, and that kind of led me to start looking around at some other options. What I eventually found was, and what I've been kind of sticking to, is auctions. And I can't really go into specifics. I mean, I could, but I'm not going to, about what auction companies or auction websites I am using personally, because I don't want to shill for someone, and I'm not being paid to do this. I'm just kind of giving an honest review of what I've experienced and what you should look out for, avoid, strategies you could possibly use that have worked for me, and hopefully give everyone a little bit better understanding of where I'm getting things from in a general sense and how you can replicate that, and the reason why I do it. So this is kind of just a hodgepodge of stuff. I got all of this within probably a 2 week period. Some of it you've probably seen in other videos. A lot of it is just kind of generic stuff, like these barber quarters. They are not in the greatest of shape. Some of them are good condition. Some of them are in almost good condition. Some are damn near slicks, like this one. So you do get a variety of different values and quality of stuff when you're purchasing from auctions, but it kind of comes with the territory, and you just have to look at what you're purchasing. For instance, this lot of barber quarters, I got 47 barber quarters in a lot, and I paid less for these than I would pay for Washington quarters that are 90% silver. Now, some would probably argue, yeah, but these are slicked down. I understand that, but the intrinsic coolness of these is a lot higher than Washington quarters, in my opinion. So if you're someone like me who's not necessarily like a prepper stacker or something, you're just kind of a hobbyist who likes to buy silver as well, this is it fit what I was looking for on that day. And I did find some cool key dates. This is not one of them. I have them in the binder here, but I ended up on average paying about $3 per quarter for this lot, maybe around 275, 280, and that's with auction fees, which brings me to my next point. So when you're purchasing from an auction, a lot of times you'll pay what's called a buyer fee. It can be anywhere from 5% all the way up into, I've seen 22, 23%. And then depending on your payment method, you'll pay a credit card fee as well if you put it on a credit card. I do not recommend that unless you're using a credit card that gives you points or cash back rewards and it's linked to your checking account. What I do typically is I'll go through PayPal for two reasons. If the coins do not ship and I don't receive them, I have buyer protection through PayPal. Second reason is I have everything logged in PayPal, and it keeps a nice record of my purchases, the dates that I purchased, and then I can know when to expect the shipping, the packages to ship. So, that kind of covers, just very briefly, the payment aspect of buying from an auction. You do need to look out for seller or buyer fees. Try and keep them under 10% if you can, but always, no matter what you're paying, calculate it into the price that you're paying for something. So for instance, if you bought a 5-ounce bar from an auction, what I do is I'll go on, JM Bullion or SD Bullion or AppMex, whoever has the best prices at the time, and I'll look up the cost of a 5-ounce bar. Then I'll go into the auctions, onto whatever website you decide to stumble upon, and I'll check the prices that they're going there for. So then what I do is I'll calculate in the price of the buyer premium on top of the price of my max bid. So what you want to do is go on, say, JM Bullion or whoever, again, has the lowest price for bullion that day, or whatever coin you're looking for. And for numismatics, you can go on eBay and look up the sell data and see what the average price is that, say, a barber half is selling for. But anyways, you want to find the lowest price that you can and compare that to what you're looking for in the auction. When you work in your buyer premium, it should be lower than whatever you can find it for on, say, eBay or AppMex or JM Bullion, or it's not worth purchasing, right? So in the instance of, say, a Buffalo bar, if spot price is at $20 and you see AppMex selling these for $28 an ounce. Well, if you go on an auction website, you may be able to find this calculated out to about $22 an ounce, and then you add in a $10 buyer's premium, and that bumps you up to $24 an ounce, and some change, obviously. Depending on your state, there may be taxes. In mine, there's not, so I don't have to worry about that. But you end up saving a pretty significant amount if you do the calculations. One other reason you want to look and try and do a cost average is because you may have an auction like I've run into before where there's 50 silver eagles for sale on the auction. Some of those silver eagles might be priced at $26 a piece, and some you might be able to win for $41 a piece. That sounds crazy, but if you get 4 that are $46 a piece and you get 10 that are $25 a piece, you do a dollar cost average and it works out to be, into the 30s somewhere. So a little bit more bearable than just looking at paying $46 for an eagle, which I would never ever recommend to anybody unless it's some crazy one-off special edition. But you can do a dollar cost average, and if your dollar cost average works out to be less again than what you're able to get eagles for, or halves for, whatever constitutional silver you're looking for, if it works out to be less than that on an auction versus buying on one of the regular bullion websites or coin deal websites, go ahead and buy it. You're going to save yourself money, and I think the goal for most people is to usually get the best deal that you can or get the most silver you can for your dollar. One other thing is to have a game plan when you go in, but don't be afraid to stray from the game plan. For instance, tonight I was in an auction and I saw some silver eagles that I wanted. However, I was going through the auction lots and then ended up finding maples, and the maples ended up being $7 less per maple than the eagles were. So for the purposes of just buying, just silver, I ended up obviously going with the maples. Now, I could have easily gone in there and said, no, I'm looking only for eagles. I'm buying the eagles no matter what. But, for this instance, I just wanted the silver content, and I ended up buying maples and eagles. So what I'll do probably is keep the maples and then sell the eagles for more than what I paid for them. I've been doing that recently, and then using the funds that I'm making back in order to get cool coins that I actually want to invest in to keep, like the slabbed Morgans that I've been trying to get a collection of. So I know this video is a little bit all over the place. I don't tend to try and script anything because I end up fumbling over my words even more than I do unscripted. So, just for an average person, I just wanted to give a couple quick tips on what you can do to try and save yourself some money, build your stack, build your coin collection up, whatever you're trying to do. I'm by no means a rich person. I am blessed to have a good career, and my wife does as well. And it lets us have money to be able to do things like this. But at the end of the day, I don't want to pay any more for this stuff than I have to. So we try and find ways to squeeze the most out of our dollar that we can. And that's one of the things that we've done is find auctions that are reputable companies, and they've all gotten us our stuff on time. I now have 4 to 5 different companies. I know the auctioneers on a first name basis, so I can call them, have them hold a package if I'm going out of town on vacation. I can have them overnight me something, and a couple of times I've gotten them overnighted for free just because I've bought so much stuff in the last couple of months. So it also, it pays to build a relationship just like a local coin shop, but there's no reason why you can't have the same relationship that you would with someone local online with an auction company or with a local auctioneer if you can find one. I actually was lucky enough to find an auction company that is about 15 minutes down the road for me. So that works out great. I bid online, and then within 10 minutes of the auction being over, I can drive up there and pick the stuff up, which is what I did with these. As you can see, there's a bunch of different stuff here. The reason I laid out just random things is because all of this stuff came from auctions, and a lot of it you wouldn't just walk into a local coin shop unless you live in a really cool city and be able to find all of this sitting in the same spot at the same time. You might go in one day and they've got a bunch of Walking Liberty halves, Franklins and Kennedys. Those are pretty common, but they might not have a barrel full of barber quarters sitting there, or a kangaroo, or a giant garnet, which it's ugly, it's beat up, but it's still cool to me for what I paid for it. I think I paid $6 for this. That's a 24.5 karat ruby that I purchased. Again, it's commercial grade. I've already taken it in and gotten it appraised, and it is still pretty valuable, even though I'm trying to zoom in on it here. Focus. It does have some, anyways, it has some scratches and stuff on it. I got 6 of these for a really good price as well, so I decided to pick them up. Normally I'm not a gemstone guy, I'm a coin guy, but sometimes you stumble onto something and just decide that you want to buy it, which is what I did with these. So these will get made into earrings. Maybe, who knows, maybe I'll melt down some silver, put the earrings or the rubies in them, and make earrings for Christmas. Who knows? Or I'll find someone who wants rubies and I'll trade them rubies for coins. Never know. These Columbia dollars, or Colombian halves rather, from the Colombian Expo. I didn't even know these existed until a couple of weeks ago, and I found a lot that had, I think, 20 of them for sale. So I snagged up a bunch of them at a really good price and ended up doubling my money at a local coin shop, which is almost unheard of around here. Most of the time they really try to put the boots to you, but I got these for so low that I was able to, and normally I don't mention specific pricing, but I picked these up for $8 a piece and got $22 out of each of them. They were, I think, a little bit better shape than either of these were, so take that into consideration. But you get cool stuff like this too. I paid $1.50 for this, for instance. And it's probably been cleaned, but I just wanted one of these, and so I snagged it. Same with this. I think I paid $1.75 or $2 for this, and it's in good shape for how old it is. These barber halves, same thing, good price. I really don't feel like I've overpaid on any of this stuff. I've actually, when I've checked with coin shops locally, I've underpaid compared to what they're all selling their stuff for, even taking into account shipping and the buyer premiums. So again, do your research. All you have to do is a simple Google search, like top 5 online coin auction companies, and you'll pull stuff up. Just use best practices and do a little bit of research, see reviews from some places. You can read the terms and conditions for each auction company before you actually start bidding, so you know exactly what you're getting yourself into. Like I said, in closing, always check out what the buyer premium is, what payment methods they accept, and make sure that if you're not local, they will ship. And there's tabs on most of those auction sites where you can choose that to filter things out so that you don't get stuck buying something in Florida when you live in Idaho and they won't ship. So, anyways, just some food for thought. If you have any comments or questions, feel free to reach out and shoot me a comment in the video below. And thanks again for watching. We'll see you in the next one.